Hey guys, I know it's Saturday. I know we just missed Thanksgiving, but you see, I had a lot going on Thanksgiving, and decided to wait and do something for the weekend. So I'm doing a Thanksgiving special on the weekend after Thanksgiving. Yeah, call me stupid. I don't care. I'm doing it. What am I gonna do for Thanksgiving? You see, because there aren't really that many Thanksgiving movies out there, so I wouldn't do a top 10 list of my favorite Thanksgiving movies. But one thing I could do is do a top 10 on movies I consider to be watching well for Thanksgiving. If you don't know me, I'm 15 years old, so there's not much I watch from the 20th century. I watch a bunch from that century, of course, but I actually made a rule for myself since there's so many and since I was just recently born this century, I ignore watching movies that came out before the 60s. I go from half the 20th century from I only watch movies that came out ever since 1960 up. Movies before then are films I kind of don't watch my daily time to rate, but I can watch those on Thanksgiving because they are old ones and they're classics, and I have family members who are that old, so might as well make fun for it. And that made sense to you? I'm doing a top 10 list of my favorite family movies that came out from the 30s through the 50s. That's pretty much all I have to say. That's a Thanksgiving special. It's the best I could think of. I can't make a list of my favorite Thanksgiving movies because hell, there's not that many. And so I guess it's time. Let's take a dirty look. Sleeping Beauty. Now, I know a lot of people may wonder why I think of this as one of those classics. Well, it came out in the 50s, remember? The 50s was a time when Disney was really trying to make as many animated movies as possible, as they just recently started in the 30s. And at this time, they really need to reflect on what they're going to be working on. You have a lot to do, you gotta waste your time. You gotta think of as many classic stories as possible to make for a successful company. And at the time, Disney wasn't as successful. They were mostly just for animated movies and family musicals. At the time, it was mostly a time for companies like MGM, Warner Brothers, and Paramount. Not really much for Disney. But Disney still was able to reflect on how much they can make. So they made Sleeping Beauty, a classic tale from a classic tale. That's what they always seem to like doing. Make classic tales based on classic tales. And Sleeping Beauty was actually a pretty fun film. I actually really liked what it had. There were moments where it was nice and pretty, moments where it was nice and scary. Had animation that looked pretty incredible for the time. I liked what it did. It gave us a very interesting story with something that we actually haven't seen before. You think from the premise this is pretty basic. We've already seen this before, but no, we actually haven't. It's a brand new princess story. Okay, it is a princess story. We have seen that before, but it's a unique one at that. Cinderella. Alright, I just want to point out that a lot of these titles you're going to see on this list are Disney titles. You see, I'm that stupid. Anyway, we're just going to take Disney titles for its name. Let's talk about Cinderella. See, Cinderella is made with a very interesting premise. It's a story about a princess who's stuck in a tower with a bunch of dumb jackasses, but is able to escape and go to a ball and all that shit. You see, one thing about Cinderella is that most people consider this to be Disney's most iconic film. When you think of Disney Princess, this is kind of the first thing that comes up. I'm not the person to call this the best one, but I am the person to call it the most iconic one. Seems it's the one label of Disney Princess. If you're a girl, you buy a poster for the overall Disney Princess franchise, you're just gonna see Cinderella on there. Every poster is gonna have that. Believe me, I don't blame her. I get it. This is a very basic story. It's a unique story at that. It's based off of a classic tale, and a lot of people seem to have a lot to say about it. Do I have a lot to say about it? Well, it's not the best one, but it certainly is a good one. I like what it did. It didn't do anything that I call great, but it did do stuff I call good. It's a good story, not a great story, a good one. That should be enough for you people. Come on, I don't have to love it. I can like it. I don't have to love it. Jeez. Peter Pan. Jeez Christ. This might just be called Disney titles because all of them are Disney titles. Let's be honest. What's Peter Pan all about? Well, Peter Pan's kind of just a story of some weird guy breaks into some home, kidnaps a bunch of kids, and makes them handle such ridiculous adventures. Yeah, it sounds dark when you think about it, but back when you're a child, this is a very fun little story to watch because you don't know all about that idea. You don't care. You just handle it. The problem, trust me, every kid's seen this movie. So if somebody breaks into the house while you're asleep and tells you some crazy stuff like that, you're just gonna believe them? Sure, go ahead. Why not? I do it. Go ahead. Just go ahead, and if someone knocks on your door and tells you a bunch of crazy stuff, then go ahead and come with them. That's perfect. You'll get out perfectly fine. I'm kidding. Do not do any of that. But Peter Pan certainly does work for a movie. It's a pretty interesting type. I remember how much I can quote from this, how much I can see from this. I also remember the peanut butter brand. Yeah, seriously. Out of all the things to talk about, I'm going to talk about my opinion on the peanut butter brand. There's Peter Pan peanut butter. It's delicious. I eat it all the time. It's better than Jif. That's saying a lot. Anyway, this is an interesting story. It may not sound very adult friendly, but it is kid friendly. And it is interesting. I like what it gave us. It gave us a very strange idea that makes most people think if they really want to go with some guy, they have to live in the Disney universe. If you don't live in the Disney universe, you better not be doing this stuff. I've been having dreams about all this, and they are not fun. Trust me, it's not fun to think of this when you're in your own world. When you're in this world, sure, but in our world, you do not want this guy coming up your door. Lady and the Tramp. Alright, well, I guess we have another Disney title. A lot of these are going to be Disney titles. You're not going to see that many, though. You're going to see some, just not... Most of them are going to be filled with Disney titles. I apologize, really. Let's talk about Lady and the Tramp. You see, Lady and the Tramp is actually something I kind of have to admit kind of got old really fast. Back when I saw this movie the first time, I'll admit, it was cute, it was nice, but I have to admit, as time went on, I kind of felt like the idea was starting to not feel as much fun as I remember. I remember nowadays when I think of a story about two dogs falling in love, I think of something that Disney can just make perfect. I like what they did with it. I kind of feel like preferring to watch a lot more. There's a lot more ideas that Disney could do besides this. This kind of works, but at the same time, I kind of felt like it's not the most impressive. It's just somewhat impressive. Good try, good idea, perfect for the time, just not the perfect thing I like by this time. If you don't like that opinion, I'm sorry, that's just mine. Pinocchio. Well, this is something. I mean, come on, look at this. It's a Pinocchio. Come on. Alright, well, let's see what I can say about this. A toy wants to be a real boy, turns into a real boy. Okay, that sounds pretty weird. But it's the kind of weird that Disney can make fun. This is actually the movie came out in 1940, and its animation is beyond perfect. It's incredible. So let's be honest. I don't see how you can ignore Pinocchio. If you can't ignore Pinocchio and I'm just wrong, well, okay, I'm wrong. I'm probably gonna get sued, but I see people seeing something in Pinocchio. This toy turns into a real boy, full of joy. My name is Roy. Wait, what? I don't know. Anyway, I like what Pinocchio did. It's actually a very fun story. It's some toy turns into a real boy. Okay, I'm getting sick of that. I think it's cute. I think it's interesting. It's actually Disney's very second animated movie. So there you go. That's just what makes it perfect. It's the second animated Disney movie. That's it. That's all I have to know. That's all that makes it a great movie. It's only the second of Disney that does. And that's saying a lot. Alright, now here we have our first ever non-Disney title. It's A Christmas Carol. It's a title of Christmas, and Christmas certainly is the perfect kind of title out there. A Christmas Carol, what does this do? Well, it takes the classic story from Charles Dickens of some guy named Scrooge who thinks Christmas sucks and doesn't want to spend it at all, but goes through a weird, trippy night, and then the next day has a change of heart and is now the Christmas joy everyone needs. I mean, let's be honest. This guy does need to bring more Christmas joy. I feel like a lot of people I know just don't want to think of good joy on Christmas. They always try to find as many negative things as possible to think of Christmas. I see a lot of you YouTube commenters out there to be Scrooges, always trying to find the negatives of Christmas, always saying Christmas sucks for this one picky reason. A lot of you out there I know could be Scrooges. I'm just saying, you gotta stop with the negative. You gotta start positive thinking. Like, for example, this Christmas is different because of all the stuff happening this year. That reason, a lot of people I know are just gonna call Christmas stupid for that. Like, come on, you can't be hating on Christmas for that reason. Christmas is perfect no matter what. It doesn't matter if there's World War II, Spanish flu, or what we're going through now. It's going to be a great Christmas. That's something that we should have learned from this movie, but we didn't. We got a childish story. So there you go. I could just rewrite A Christmas Carol to make it sound like something I'm talking about. A dude has flashbacks of World War II, Spanish flu, Great Depression, and of course this pandemic this year, and always just thinks of those reasons to be a hatred of Christmas when everyone else just has as much joy as possible. Then goes through a night to learn about this stuff, and as he learns that Christmas is perfect no matter what happens. You got that, people? You got that? I'll be working on that movie soon, okay? Trust me, you're going to see a Christmas Carol remake like that very soon, I'm telling you. And you're going to love it. I don't care how many negative reviews it gets. I don't care if it gets a negative score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's going to be forced to watch. You have to like it. I swear to God, you have to like it. Fun story. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You know how Pinocchio's the second animated Disney movie? Well, this is the first. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was actually the very first ever animated movie to ever come out in the history of cinema. There has been animation projects before this one, but this is the first one to be over an hour long. And believe me, it's over an hour long of pure joy. This movie is really great. The animation works perfectly for the time. It's very colorful, really nicely done. Walt Disney certainly has nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, I don't want people telling me that this animation sucks because you do not know when this came out. It doesn't matter how it compared to these days of animation. The animation at the time, it was tremendous. It was perfect. It was joy. It was fun. It was everything the world needed. I needed it most because boy does it look nice. It's colorful. It's creative. It's childlike. And at the time, children really don't need to be this happy because there are things children have to handle. But trust me, they don't need all that time to handle. They can waste most of their time watching this. Go ahead, kids. Sit down your butts and chill through this stuff. You're gonna love it much better than what I'm giving you. So come on. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna make all of you children go home and watch all of these movies I have on this list. Ha ha, I know, I'm evil for that. But you kids need something better. So watch this movie and get all the joy you want. I don't care what you think. You're gonna like it no matter what. Fantasia. Oh man, Fantasia. What is this movie all supposed to be? Music. That's all that matters. That's the key word, music. Okay, I don't have any word. Animation, sure, whatever, but music is what makes this the perfect movie. Come on, it's a chorus. It's like an opera. It's like one of those operas you go to. Only this time, instead of it being an opera, it's a movie that's animated. So there you go. You got a perfect film. There's a lot of great musical numbers that don't even have much dialogue. There's a lot of great animation details that don't have much dialogue. It's the right kind of movie to sit through. You better sit through this movie all you want because you're gonna hum through it all the time. I swear to God, I hum through whenever I watch it. And believe me, that Mickey costume just looks fabulous. I wish I had a costume like that. I want to wear a wizard hat with a bunch of night moons on it. I want to wear a nice red robe, some nice yellow shoes. I want to have a big mouse nose and mouse ears. I want to look like Mickey Mouse. I want to be Mickey. Mickey, he's so likable. Wait a minute. Now I'd like to just give an announcement. The last two movies on this list are not Disney titles, so that's a good way to finish this off. The Wizard of Oz. Boy, believe me, do I have a lot to say for The Wizard of Oz. Well, I guess I can start by saying The Wizard of Oz was one of the first few movies to come out at the time that were actually made with real color. When at the time we mostly thought of movies as black and white. Well, now we got color. Okay, The Wizard of Oz gives us color. gives us joy. It's been considered by many to be one of the greatest movies of all time. I'm telling you, that's perfect. All right. The Wizard of Oz, just if The Wizard of Oz is considered one of the best movies ever, it's a movie I gotta talk about. I'm serious. Dorothy is taken to a world with color, with creepy people, weird stuff, learns lessons, and then wakes up and realizes all that crap was a dream. How is that successful? I don't know. Do I like it? Hell yeah, I do. I love it. It's just everything I need right now. Okay, come on, The Wizard of Oz. You're giving me so much joy. I can't even more. I can't anymore. Let's talk about what number one is. Here's number one. Here's something that everyone should watch at least one time. The holidays are coming up. Come on, It's a Wonderful Life. I swear to God, you better watch it. I'm not kidding. You have to watch it. It's a Wonderful Life is Christmas themed. It's what's considered the greatest Christmas movie by many. It's like it's like a Christmas story made with so much joy, so much romance. It's like Christmas the movie. Well, not really. Christmas Carol is kind of like Christmas the movie, but this is something else. This is the movie we all need to be watching right now. Come on, we got Christmas coming up. We gotta enjoy something. We gotta get through this. We gotta love Christmas all we want. So we better sit our butts down and watch It's a Wonderful Life. It's the right kind of Christmas movie to sit for. You want to enjoy Christmas? Watch It's a Wonderful Life. You want to enjoy Christmas? Watch some other titles. I'm making a Christmas list this Christmas, so you better sit through it. And you're going to see It's a Wonderful Life on there. I'm telling you. You're going to love it. Okay, that was kind of weird. So, if you don't get why I did this list, I'm going to explain one more time why I did it. I'm 15 years old. I was born in the 21st century, so for that reason, when I want to look at movies for the 20th century to rank and review, I'm only going to be looking at ones that came out ever since 1960 to go smaller since I just recently born this century. So for that reason, I'm going to be only rating and reviewing movies that came out ever since 1960, with movies before that to be made special, like for Thanksgiving. I'm only going to watch those movies when it's special time. I'm not going to rank them. I'm just going to watch them for fun. And there you go. I just gave you a Thanksgiving list. Do you think it's a Thanksgiving list? Do you think it's worth Thanksgiving? No, you don't think it's Thanksgiving? Well, happy Thanksgiving anyway, because this is the best I'm giving you, okay? I cannot think of any Thanksgiving titles. I'm not going to waste your reviewing a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. That's too much. I'm done. Bye.